She was no fun. All I wanted was to play. One's coming. Boo! I scared you! I saw it! Nobody beats me at hide and seek.
Though shrouded in shadows, the child's resemblance to Thaniel is unmistakable. This must be his dark half, warped by the curse.
Will you play with me? Not that kind of playing, silly. I want to play a game. It'll be really fun. Let me show you. I don't know anyone called that. Don't ask me again. Now play with me. I have a mummy, a daddy, and a doggy. They'll be back in a while, but you're here now, and I want to play. They don't need names. They just need to be mummy and daddy and do what I want. Now play with me, or they'll be angry with you.
The boy doesn't like these questions because he has no real answers, and perhaps no real family.
He's not special. He's nothing. You shouldn't say that name. Forget you ever heard it. I'm not going anywhere. I like it here. Now play with me or else. All right. I'll hide and you seek. Find me and you win. Then you lose. Get ready. And no cheating. You weren't supposed to find me. You weren't supposed to win. Good idea. You're smarter than some playmates I've had. They always tried to leave before I was done with them. Try to find me again, but my family will be looking for you at the same time, so don't get caught!
Right, time to skulk about. Should mind my step.
The mission has to come first. Better tread carefully.
Out of sight, out of mind. Careful.
What to do?
Eyes open, mouth shut.
Best think ahead, or I'm lost. Should have worn better boots. Bit of caution never hurt.
Hello, you.
Can't afford any mistakes.
Keep it quiet.
What do we have here?
You're good at this. Are you sure you didn't cheat? But I can't let you think me a bad sport. Here's your prize. You'll need it. Not back to gloat, are you? Nobody likes a bad winner.
Though shrouded in shadows, the child's resemblance to Thaniel is unmistakable. This must be his dark half, warped by the curse.
I still think you might have tricked me. If you did, I'll figure it out! Spoil sport. I'm not going back. I like it here. I've made a family for myself. I get to play all the time. Yes, I do. You can't make me do anything. I don't want to play with you anymore.
A slippery little bugger, isn't he? He'll be looking for somewhere safe. Somewhere where the shadows are nice and strong.
Oakfather preserve you. Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is. So do I. But one duty at a time. Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shah. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the shadows, became part of the shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning. Indeed. I know that all too well. Only by a reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. There is much to admire, judging by the stories. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Defended the Grove, Korga, the Shadow Druids. At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know? I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know, well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey. Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. You're right. Sometimes I think people look at me and imagine my feelings can't be hurt. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand, but as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe. I am? Trust me, it's been said. You've shown more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. It's a natural question, but I don't have a good answer, I'm afraid. Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Thaniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place? Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in high forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The grove became my family, with Sylvanus as my teacher. And now I have you. It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable. I'm 350 years old. Of course there have been lovers. Just because I love nature doesn't mean I'm betrothed to it. Though sometimes nature needs reminding. Well, I didn't pick this scar up in battle. I was in wild shape, only I forgot it was the season when bears are particularly social. A she-bear claimed me as her own and did not appreciate being spurned. Right now, I bed down alone, I'm afraid. Perhaps once I talk less of curses and parasites, my fortunes will improve. Anytime. Given the circumstances, you're faring as well as can be expected, I suppose. Once, you could hear nature's symphony in this place. Now, it is quiet. Quiet and dead.
I can make some animal noises if it will make you feel more at home.
You bleat well enough as it is.
I'll make my own fun if I have to. And my own friends. couldn't you just leave me alone? Why can't I just stay here, playing? I had everything I've ever wanted, right here! And you've ruined it. I'm not leaving. You can't make me.
Be gentle. He's much more than a child. But he doesn't truly know that.
He's nothing to me. He left me here all this time. I had to do everything for myself. Even when it was scary, even when I was alone. I didn't give up. But would he even want me back? I've changed. A lot. So I wouldn't have to make up friends to play with anymore. I'd have someone real. I'd like that. And he would too, I think. All right, I'll do it. I want to do it.
Well done.
Are you crying? You're a bit big to be crying. But I suppose that's okay. Bye. And thank you for playing with me.
It's done, at last. Soon the land will be unshrouded. We should return to Thaniel when we can. It is done. Now Thaniel will be whole again. I could not have done this without you, my friend. We should return to camp when we can. I must see how Thaniel is faring. With the Oak Father's blessing, the Shadow Curse may soon be no more.
I think I'll enjoy traveling with Halsin. Not for his wit or wisdom. He'll just make an excellent shield if we're attacked. I was so hoping you'd say that. Until later, then.
Already feeling better.
Oak Father preserve you. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seemed my faith was more than well-founded.